Good morning, good evening, and everything in between. It's your favorite Disney dads here to keep you entertained from rope drop till final firework pop. It's always a good time in this kingdom, so adjust those ears and gather your snacks. And settle in, fellow Mouseketeers, because it's about to get magical. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for another episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. Cam, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. The final episode before my our little hiatus due to my little one coming very, very soon, any day now, which is nuts to think about. There's technically a possibility this comes out Friday. There's technically a possibility the baby's here. I don't think that's happening because we still have technically a week and a half till my wife's due date.
Yep.
You never know, though. You never know. So a little
possible.
hiatus. Not sure how long it's going to be. So excited for one last ride with Dadventures Around the Kingdom for now. Obviously, me and you will be talking 50 million times between this. We just won't be getting on the mics to do it. But and we got a good topic. We got a good one to end it on. D23, the Horizons Park Experience panel.
Yes. There was so much that happened on there. So for those that, if this is your first time checking in, first I'm going to say rewind and listen to all of our other amazing episodes while we go on hiatus. But for those who normally listen in with us, this is going to be a News with Cameron episode because Cam has all of the lovely details for us that he could get without actually being there, which I know he would have loved to be at one of these D23s.
Yeah, we were in New Hampshire when this was happening, and I tried so hard watching it live because it was on Disney Plus, which was really cool that it was on Disney Plus. I tried watching it live. We get the worst freaking cabins up in worst Wi-Fi up in those cabins. So after like 5 minutes of it buffering, I was like, I'll just try to follow along on Twitter. And then the room was dark and I fell asleep. So I literally caught up at 3 a.m. East Coast time because I fell asleep with like my phone in my face, just going through like all the news. This is the panel I was most excited for D23. We're going to just highlight from the Horizon panels what's coming to the American parks, so Walt Disney World and Disneyland. There was a bunch of other news for like Cruise Line and Disneyland Paris. I've never been to those places. We're going to talk about the American parks. I'll start off with saying this. Could most of this panel have been an email or just a Disney Parks blog announcement? Yes, it could have been. There were good announcements, but there's and here's the thing. Even when we met a couple weeks ago, or when we podcast a couple weeks ago, and we're giving our hopes and dreams, I went into the expectation that we weren't going to get any crazy news from this panel. I thought it was just going to be mostly updates, simply because 2024's Horizon panel was just, it was too much news. It was too much good news of changes. There were 2 big announcements that came from this parks panel that were massive, but the rest of it absolutely just could have been a Disney Parks blog that I would have been excited about. Whatever. I didn't pay the $1,000, whatever it was, to be in the Honda Center. I just got to watch the replay on Disney Plus after the news came out, and now we get to talk about it. So let's start off with this. So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to talk about the news per ride, show, whatever the experience is. We give it a 1 out of 5. How excited we are for it. Obviously, 1 being who gives a crap, to 5 being hell yeah, this is what. So let's start off with this. So number 1, Carousel of Progress. So we already knew that it was going to be updated, that it was going to start with like the 19 errors scene, and that we knew it was coming probably in 2027. It got officially announced it's late spring 2027. This will be coming. But the big announcement is that Jamie Lee Curtis and Bryan Cranston will be voicing mom and dad in the ride. For me, this was like a 3. This would have been a perfect Disney Parks blog to find this out. Maybe like a short little video with Jamie Lee Curtis and Bryan Cranston. D23, whatever. It was fine. It's good news. I'm excited for it. It's interesting that they were called mom and dad as opposed to like the actual characters' names from the original. So it seems like these are original characters, which is cool. But obviously 2 freaking legends in the acting game between Bryan Cranston and Jamie Lee Curtis. I think Bryan Cranston definitely has a couple Emmys from Breaking Bad. Jamie Lee Curtis, I don't know, but whatever. They're rock stars. Like, that's pretty cool that they're gonna be voicing this iconic attraction.
I'm gonna give this.
So you hate
I'll give it a 1.5. And that 1.5 is just because of Cranston and Jamie Lee Curtis. The ride itself, I would love for it to be completely gone, but that is not going to happen and it's probably never going to happen. I find it a completely useless ride, but having them voice on the ride has me a little interested. Yeah.
You know what? I actually think I'm gonna go down with you on this to 1.5 because at the end of the day, like as far as like, oh my god, breaking news, this was not earth shattering. It's just like, oh, that's very cool and interesting. It's these voice actors, so I'm actually gonna because like 3 is like, wow, that's cool. You know what I mean? Whereas
Yeah.
like, 4 is like, oh, and then 5 is like, yes, fuck yeah. So this is like a 1.5. It's just a voice announcement. It's not something I'm not excited for, but like again, hey, it's not earth shattering. So actually, I think 1.5 is very fair on this.
Yeah, I would even say like I don't even think this is something that I would have said would have been a like an email. Like this I don't even know if I would put this as newsletter worthy.
Like TikTok.
This is a picture of a sticky note on an Imagineer's desk that I would have been perfectly fine as a story, not a post. Just put it as a story and let everybody else simmer on it.
I think if you combined the fact that they were like shutting the whole thing down and redoing it, combined with the voice acting, that would have been bigger news, obviously. But we've known about this news for a couple months now that they were redoing it.
Yeah.
I think 1.5 is actually very fair for this, even though I like the attraction more than you.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. It's like not a crazy announcement. Moving on to Piston Peak, we'll talk about the 2 things here. So we have the official names of the 2 rides that are coming here. So we have Miss Fritter's Daredevil Spin Along, Miss Fritter being a character from Cars 3. This looks cool. The concept art looks really cool. We didn't really get a sense of what this ride was going to be until now. Like when people were posting about the Imagineering little pavilion they had at D23, you could see Miss Fritter very clearly in the model for Piston Peak, which is Magic Kingdom's version of Cars Land. And I was like, wow, Miss Fritter, that's crazy to bring her. It looks kind of like a version of like Alien Swirling Saucers / Mater's Junkyard Jamboree.
Okay.
I think that's what it looks like, but I honestly can't really tell.
So essentially kind of like the Dumbo ride.
No, so more like Alien Swirling Saucer. So like the one that whips you around in Hollywood Studios.
Oh, why am I spacing on that? Why am I is that like the teacups?
No, it's like
I don't know why I'm spacing on this ride.
Kind of like the teacups where it does like that circle motion, but you're in a car and the car whips around as opposed to like the car constantly spinning, I guess. But it looks like it goes like I don't even know. There's like water elements. It looks very interesting. It just looks like it's going to whip you around a lot, and Miss Fritter is going to be potentially the product. So we'll see. And then we got the name of the Cars Run, the big e-ticket attraction. Looks like it's going to be called the Cars Ridge Run Rally. This is a new Cars-themed racing attraction that will take guests through mountain trails, snows, geysers, and more. Disney is saying that this is a very unique ride system. What big news is that it can be operated in the rain, which is interesting. The one other thing interesting too with this is like the original concept art looked like you were going to have a big racing finish, kind of like Cars Land, Radio Spring Racers, where 2 cars duel it out at the very end of the run. This doesn't look like that. It looks like it's single file the whole time, but supposedly whatever this technology they're using is going to really, like when you're in the tundra section, is really going to make you feel like you're slipping and sliding around. It just looks cool. Like the concept art and the diorama, whatever you call it. The model looks incredible, looks really high detailed. This is the e-ticket attraction. I could not be more excited about this. I'm going to combine both Piston Peaks as one new story. This is like a 4 for me. Like awesome that we have the names and we know more about the second attraction, which is going to be Miss Fritter's Daredevil Spin Along.
Yeah, I think I'm also going to give it a 4. I think I'm more interested in the land itself than I think I am for the ride, just because I think I need to see the ride in action to fully grasp it. Like seeing some of the pictures and whatnot and the concept art, I think I really need to see this ride in action, because I think personally what I would have loved is kind of like Radio Springs Racers, give me a test track feel. Obviously, you don't got to go as fast as test track, but give me something kind of similar, like the test track 3.0, where it's, it's zigzags kind of through the the terrain and all of that. That's kind of what I envisioned when I was first hearing about this ride. But I think like, yeah, having something where you really get to feel your, your hair or, your buzz cut kind of flow through, feel the wind in your hair, etc. I was like, I think that would be really cool. So yeah, I definitely got to see this ride, but a new land in general, I'm pumped for. So I'm really, I think my lack of excitement for the rides is why I'm not giving this a 5 out of 5.
Okay.
4 is specifically just for the land, quite honestly.
The cars themselves for both attractions, the actual vehicles, look incredible, highly detailed. That's my one thing with like Radiator Springs Racers and California Adventure is like the cars just look like sleek sports cars, but don't have like racing numbers on them or anything like that signify that they're racing cars. They look like all the other cars in Radiator Springs, like a Sally car kind of thing, as opposed to like a race car. These have like, they look like Jeeps basically, and like especially for the
interesting.
Whatever this ride, the second ride, what does call it? Not Miss Fritters, Cars Ridge Runner Rally. I need to learn that. The vehicles just look very, very cool, and it looks like they have some animatronic characters, which is awesome as well. Yeah, no, I'm excited about this. We've known about Cars Land since 2024. Looking at the model, this land is massive. It is massive, the amount of footprint this is going to take up at Magic Kingdom. So I'm very excited about this as being a big Cars aficionado myself.
Yeah.
Next up, it seems like we have the official name of the Villains Land. Villains Land. That's what it's called.
Villains Land.
And this is the announcement that I wanted, was like, what are we officially getting here ride-wise, more or less? Like, we don't know a lot of details for some of this stuff, but we have a good chunk of it. So again, it's going to be called Villains Land. It is going to include a Maleficent-themed roller coaster through the Enchanted Briars, which is going to be cool. It seems like it's going to be an outdoor roller coaster, which Disney, like, I feel like doesn't have a lot of a Magic Kingdom. Like, I'm trying to think of the outdoor roller coasters, like Seven Dwarfs,
Barnstormer,
and then like Expedition Everest are the only outdoor roller coasters I can think of.
You said Magic Kingdom.
Oh, sorry, and then Slinky Dogs. Those are the only ones I can think of.
You got Slinky Dog.
It's like a thrilling outdoor roller coaster. Like, this looks like it might be kind of like on par with like the intensity of Expedition Everest, which I'm all for. I'm hoping there's a badass Maleficent animatronic that's associated with this. So again, we have that. We don't have the name for that. The other thing is we're gonna have a ride that's kind of like an Avengers Endgame style kind of ride where like all the villains are gonna be together, which is pretty cool. So it's gonna be a magic mirror, a mystical realm where you're going into this, for lack of a better word, mystical realm with the magical mirror, and we don't know what you're gonna do in it, but the concept art shows like there's a lot of like glassy kind of things, and in the shards of glass there's different villains. The picture right off the bat when I saw it looked like it was a boat ride, so I was like, oh my god, is this like the Shanghai Pirates boat ride? But from what I'm seeing now from like other people, it looks like it's the same ride vehicle that the Peter Pan ride uses in, Shanghai, which is called a scoop vehicle. This is going to be a very, very, very heavy screen ride. I can already tell. It looks very much so that, especially with the shards of glass, it just screams screen ride. We know how I feel about screen rides. However, we also know how I feel about screen rides when it's a property I like. I love villains. So I might not care about that. The fact that I might be like, oh, it's a screen ride. I might be complaining about it. But we do have officially confirmation of those two rides. We have no names. We know a little bit of story, but not even really that much. Obviously, way more details going to come soon.
Yeah.
And this is a class for me. Sorry. Just to I really didn't want the Emperor's New Groove roller coaster. I did not want it. This is a class.
A lot of influencers were hoping for an Emperor's New Groove roller coaster, and honestly, as an idea, I thought it was a home run. Doesn't kill me that it's not going to be there. One thing that I do love is I saw something that said Dr. Facilier would be a part of Villains Land as a possible like meet and greet. So I am excited for that. Yeah, this for me 5 out of 5. No, 6 out of 5. Like I am all about Villains Land. I do wish that the engineers left a little had left behind some ketchup in the bottle to come up with a better name than just Villains Land. But yeah, I'm pumped for this because as well as new rides, as well as having a roller coaster, a possible boat ride, etc., I'm ready for the snacks. I want Villain Land First off,
restaurant,
Villain Land exclusive snacks. What's it called? The merch. Oh, the merch. I'm not a Spirit jersey guy, at least not a Disney Spirit jersey guy, because I hate the material. I might have to break that rule for a Villains Land Spirit jersey. I'm so pumped for Villains Land because even now, if you think like obviously you want something princesses, you want something Lion King, you want something, Mickey, Minnie Mouse, Mickey and Friends, etc. Even like Avengers type stuff, superheroes, it's easy to find that stuff. But you really got to look to find villains, which is why like when we go to Disney World, and I don't know if it was the same when you went to Disneyland, but a lot of times to find like the cool villain stuff, it's all off-brand, local shops, etc. I want to see Disney put on for the villains, and I'm super excited for that.
I think they've gotten better with the villains merch, especially since announcing a couple years ago that a Villains Land was coming. But I also definitely see we get like an uptick in the villains merch around like Halloween time. Like right now, they just released like really cool football jerseys. Like one of them is Maleficent, one of them is the Headless Horseman. One of them is Darth Maul, but that's I guess which is a villain. Whatever, I'm not gonna say he's not a villain, but Star Wars, not Disney animation, which is cool. But again, that's because it's closer to Halloween time kind of thing. I want villains merch 24/7 kind of thing, which again I do think they've been getting better with at Disney World. And Disneyland for that matter too. Oogie Boogie Bash merch for that in California. That's their version of their Halloween party in DCA. Freaking awesome. But again, that's an event merch kind of thing. But I think they're going to get better. Now, here's one thing. I'm going to get a prop. This is something I want from Villains Land.
What you got for me?
I hate this property. I've made this very clear. The only reason I have this is because I've been like really cleaning out this office while we've been getting this nursery and stuff ready. Not that the nursery is going to be in the office, but I'm just cleaning in general. This was an impulse buy when I went to Pandora for the first time because I got to go to Pandora before it actually opened to the public. This is a banshee thing that like sits on you, and it's a puppet. Like you can control. Let's see if I haven't used this in forever. You can like control the head and stuff like that. This as like one of Maleficent's like little crows. If you could buy that, I'd buy one of these in 5 seconds.
Give me Iago. Give me
Iago. Any of the birds. Give me Iago. Actually, Iago would be sick. But yeah, you can like twist it back. This is probably the biggest, dumbest impulse buy I've ever bought in my life. Because again, I was like, nor before anyone else because it was like a DVC preview.
But say we have a couple of those like the shoulder ones. So I know Katie has Ratatouille and Orange Bird. I think Katie also has Baby Groot as well. Jazz has a little Figment. And so I would definitely get like Iago, because that's the other thing. Along with the villains are iconic, but their sidekicks, Cam, I know 100% if you could get a double-shouldered Pain and Panic, you'd be all over it.
Did you see the Galaxy's Edge has like those little baby Ewoks that like interact with the land and stuff? Give me a Pain and Panic that can interact with Villains Land that I can carry around like a little baby in a Bajorna kind of thing. Oh my god, we're cooking with gas here. All right, so I think I gave this a 4 or 5. I think I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I think you gave it a 5. I gave it a 5 as well.
All right. Villains Land, good. Next, Spaceship Earth in Epcot. Spaceship Earth will be reimagined around the broader theme of human connection rather than primarily human communication. This is a 2 for me. The only reason this isn't a 1 is because the reason it was interesting, I was like, this was announced back in like 2018 or 19 that they were going to redo. That they were going to redo Spaceship Earth. And then COVID happened and no one's mentioned it since. So it was a 2 in the fact of like, I kind of just gave up on the retheming of it kind of thing. I do like
Yep.
Spaceship Earth. I think it's a very relaxing ride. So like, had that never happened before, this would probably be a 3. It's a 2 though, because I was more just like, okay, that's old news, but also like, oh, that's more interesting that they are actually bringing it back to the conversation. I thought that was dead in the water from a couple of years ago. Almost a decade ago, they announced this.
I think I'm going to give this a 1, if I'm being real.
That's fair. I think that's very fair.
I like Spaceship Earth. I mean, it is the marquee of it's the marquee of Epcot. So making little changes to it, I really don't care about the little changes that they
It
make
could
to
be
it.
big though. It could be big changes. We don't know. That's the issue.
True. Quite honestly, you know what? The only change I want to see is make sure my face actually fits on the person. Don't take a picture of a blank seat and be like, look at you in the world of
There
tomorrow.
he is.
Scratch that. Like, nah, forget all that. Like, make that actually work. Like, fix the real problems. So, I mean, yeah, it could be interesting, but this is one of those, like, you know, I've been hauling ass all through Epcot. I need something where I can relax, get some AC, get off my feet for a little bit. That's what you're getting on Spaceship Earth for. So making the changes, yeah, it's okay. I guess I'll have something different to look at, but I don't know about you, Cam, but when that bad boy fully tilts back,
That's relaxing time, baby.
Oh yeah, I'm out cold. I'm full lazy boy right there.
All right. Next one, sticking with Epcot, the last Epcot news. The biggest news of, in my humble opinion, of D23. This is where an email or a blog post would not have been efficient. This is where you have to announce this kind of stuff at D23 at the Horizons panel. It is that Figment and Dreamfinder are returning for a new journey into imagination. They're redoing the ride. They are bringing back the Dreamfinder. I love the Dreamfinder. I've never got to experience the Dreamfinder in my life besides from the grainiest 1990s, 80s videos of all time. I just want them to just redo the whole first iteration of this and just bring it back to a more modern age, because it's a beautiful ride with a great story. It's my dude Figment. See you later, Nigel, whatever your freaking name is. I'm so happy Figment is getting redone. They're bringing the Dreamfinder back. I had an inkling this was going to happen, just especially like recently. In the last couple of years, Figment's been all over for park merch. Especially, I think it really started with that popcorn bucket craze from like a couple before the pandemic. It might have been right after the pandemic, where everyone was waiting for these long lines for Figment. This was the panel that Disney's finally been listening to the fans. This is something that's been the community's wanted for a while. And Josh D'Amaro, CEO of Disney for his first one, is like, cool. From what I've been hearing in the different podcasts I've been listening to, and again, this is third-hand source, right? Like, I'm listening to podcasts who have sources, so it's not my official sources because I don't have sources.
Yep.
This just came about really recently. That's why they just announced, yep, it's coming back. We have nothing else to tell you about it, because this was like very like last minute, like, we're doing this, announce it, we'll figure out everything else eventually kind of thing. No idea when this is going to come, but I'm glad that they are putting their money where their mouth is and giving Figment the proper attraction he deserves. There's been rumors forever that whole area is going to be turned inside out. I love Inside Out. Keep my purple dinosaur though, so I'm glad we're keeping Figment.
What you giving it?
This is a 5. This was the news I was most excited for D23, for sure.
I think I'm going to give it a 4, and it's the only reason because I love Figment as well. The only reason I'm giving it a 4 is because I need some more information. I need more in depth before I really give it a 5. I need it fleshed out a bit. Yeah, I've heard a couple of things about Figment and everything going on. I know absolutely nothing about the Dreamfinder, which excites me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn more about Figment. I want to see more about Figment. I don't know if you feel this way. I believe Figment might be the most polarizing, probably the most polarizing character at Disney World. You either absolutely love him or you hate him.
Yeah, we at the travel agency, we had like a friendly competition one time where the two, and it wasn't about Figment, but the way we divided the teams up was Figment lovers versus Figment haters. Like that's how polarizing Figment can be. Is like
yeah,
like literally a sales competition or something like that, where one team was the Figment lovers, the other one was the not Figment lovers, and we did like a competition basically, which is very funny that like again had nothing to do with Figment, but we turned the teams into people's love or hatred of the little shit stirring dinosaur dragon that I adored with.
yeah. There's no in between, but I think with the hype that I see, like other hardcore, Disney park fans, Disney in general fans talking about this change, and what it could entail, I think this could move some of those people that don't like Figment could shift over to the other side.
I agree, because the Figment side sucks.
That's what I heard. And so one thing that I don't know if this is just a rumor or something, but I saw something that was saying when you're on the Figment ride, there's old parts that were the Dreamfinder, but they just closed it off. So there's a part on the ride. I forget specifically what room you're in, but it splits into two tracks. The right track, it continues going on with everything that it's doing. But the left track, I guess, was a part of the original Dreamfinder. And so when they changed it, they just closed that door.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not, yeah, I don't know how true that is, but those are like the rumors that I'm hearing. But if this is one of those things, like you said, there's not a whole lot of news on it. I'm very interested to see, like, are they going to gut that whole building and redo? Because, like I said, I know nothing about the Dreamfinder, so I'm very interested.
Yeah, so more news to come on that, but again, that's my 5. That was the one I was most excited for. Try to go a little more rapid fire on these. Next, we're going to Animal Kingdom. We got 3 things there. First, Expedition Everest, the Yeti is coming back to life. They are restoring the animatronic that has not worked in forever. Again, this kind of goes on the theme of Disney listening to fans. This wasn't an easy, crazy news story, but it's like, yeah, no shit. You have this really cool animatronic that hasn't worked forever. Fix the freaking thing. You're Disney. You know what I mean? Like, you're not Six Flags. They can't afford to fix the thing, and now it's a statue. Like, you're Disney. Freaking fix it, kind of thing.
Yeah, you can fix
it. This was a 3 for me. And it was great news, but it's also like the reason I'm even putting it 3 was like, don't bother me with this. This should have been done 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fair. It should have been 10 years ago, but like that's a whole different thing where you have to re-theme a ride kind of thing. This is like, animatronic. Like, I'm sure it's a lot of technology. I'm sure it's not as easy as I'm making it out to be, but like, just do it. Just freaking do it 10 years ago.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give this a 4 just because I love I'm all for Expedition Everest. That's one of my favorite rides. I'd probably put it in my top 3 favorite rides at Disney World right now. And so having that animatronic move, I do think now is a perfect time, just based off of the advancements in technology that we have for animatronics. Because, correct me if I'm wrong, the story with the original one is it was just too heavy.
Yeah,
and so every time it was swinging, it was starting to put cracks in the foundation of the ride.
So that's what I heard. Somebody said that one time, and everybody just stuck with that. I recently heard, because I always, until this past week, I also thought the same thing. But then Joe Rohde, who's like a big time Imagineer, he's kind of semi-retired now. He's like, yeah, no, that's the foundation's fine. But I was like, everything else I've heard is the foundation is not fine because the thing's too heavy and you can't bring it down. I don't know who to believe anymore, because for the longest time, like in my head, I thought that same thing, and then Joe Rogan was like, "No, that's just not a thing." I was like, "Well, everybody has been saying this for 20 years, not 20 years, but actually, did it just hit its 15th anniversary? I think it just hit 15 recently." But regardless, people have been saying that forever.
I mean, and
I saw it once. It was badass.
Yeah,
it was cool. It was
like the rumors seemed true, because it was like that's what I always thought. I was like, oh, okay, so it wasn't that the Yeti itself was too heavy. It was just that arm motion was so intense that it was shaking the beams that it was attached to. But now you can use, like, again, our technology is much better. So you have animatronics that can be as big as the Yeti and weigh, I don't know, half of what it is now, and still get the same thing. So it's no longer the Disco Yeti anymore. It'll actually swing, and I think that's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm disappointed in is obviously because you're working on the Yeti, that means Expedition Everest is going to be closed for a little bit. I mean, yeah, that gives them some time to, refurbish the ride. I don't know when the last time that they, did heavy maintenance on the ride was, but that'll be nice. Clean up some of the hair ties at the bottom. I mean, at the top, all of that type of stuff.
They're going to have to wait till after the new land is open. There's no way they can shut this ride down with how few rides
that is true
until Encanto and Indiana Jones opens.
That's true. Yeah, you need to have another draw, because if not, then Animal Kingdom just looks like an expensive zoo.
You got Pandora and the zoo, and that's it. But speaking of things coming to Animal Kingdom, just going with that with the Tropics of America land, Indiana Jones news. So new attraction officially has a name: Indiana Jones and the Myth of the Jade Serpent. The name's cool. I don't really care about naming things. The reason that I'm going to give this a 4, though, as far as news breaking goes, is Harrison Ford will be the official face of Indiana Jones on the attraction. The reason this is important to you, if you don't know, I don't know how much you know of Harrison Ford. He's always been a grumpy Gil kind of guy. He's just always been kind of grumpy. He refused to let them use his likeness on Indiana Jones in the Disneyland attraction, the Adventure of Indiana Jones ride. So it's just like a random face and a random voice actor. I don't think he's going to be doing the voice, but he's letting his likeness of young Indiana Jones or younger Harrison Ford be used for this. They did not say if that also means they're going to redo the Disneyland one to put Harrison Ford's face on it, but he's given his blessing. I'm sure it's not even a blessing. He's probably getting paid to do this. But
100%.
Now, what gets me nervous about this, a lot of people dying lately. We got Dolly Parton died yesterday. We got Tim Curry died today. I'm nervous that he's kind of like seeing the light and he's like, yeah, freak it. I'm out the door soon. Like, well, yeah, Disney, you can have my face to do this ride. That's what I'm nervous about. But I hope that's not the case. God willing, we got plenty more years of Harrison Ford. But I think, yes, the name is cool. Seeing the sculpture of the big serpent, this thing's gonna be massive. They have like a sculpture of what a normal sized human looks like next to the serpent. It's incredible. That's gonna be great. The news itself of the name and some of the details, like I said, wouldn't push the deal, but Harrison Ford being like, yep, use my face. That was where my news, that was the most excited I am. I'm very excited for this attraction. The Indiana Jones ride at California Adventure, I think I named it as my number 2 favorite ride in Disneyland Park or Disneyland Resort. It's a top 5 attraction for me in the theme parks ever. I love that ride. So this is going to be up there with this, and I can't wait for it.
I'm probably giving Indiana Jones. I'm gonna give it 3.5.
Cool.
Just because I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones person. I'm also not really. I don't get the draw for Indy at all. Personally, I'm like, I think you could have picked something else, especially in that area. I'm just not big on Indy. Using Harrison Ford's face, I mean, that is a plus. Like you said, I wonder if this kind of opens the whole thing where it's like, all right, so now we can slap his face on the stunt spectacular. We can go over to Disneyland and slap his face on that as well. Yes, I do hope he's around for many more years to come, because I would like to see at least one more showing of Red Hulk, if that is possible. But yeah, I'm just not overly thrilled. Maybe I'll feel, again, my feelings change once I see POVs and finished products.
Ride's gonna slap. This ride's gonna slap, Stevie.
Like, this can definitely go upwards, no doubt about it. But I think as of right now, I'm just like, really, more Indiana Jones at Disney. Okay, whatever. Like it doesn't wow me as much. So yeah, I'll give it like a 3.
Fair. Last one for Animal Kingdom is the Encanto attraction. So we have official name. So Antonio's Fiesta de Encanto will bring the Madrigal family to Animal Kingdom. Guests will enter Casita and explore Antonio's world. It is his like gift ceremony day. So the big joke right now is Universal actually kind of used this joke, was like, oh, look, another attraction where people are getting invited to a party, and then meanwhile at Universal parks, like, yeah, you have to save the day at our parks, not just go to some friggin' party kind of thing. So it's kind of funny. The ride vehicles look incredible. It looks like pieces of furniture that got like cobbled together by Casita to bring you around the house. Not really much other details about anything like that, besides we did see the models for the ride vehicles. One thing that I don't have on this list too is also the carousel that's going to be in Tropics of America. We'll talk about that in a second. Sorry, but it's just today in Encanto, again, a name. We got to see the ride vehicles. This is like a 2 for me because again, we just got a name and we got to see the ride vehicles. I want more details on the ride. Like, how's the ride vehicles going to work? Like, it looks trackless, but I don't know. Me saying a 2 for this news is not indicative about my excitement for the ride. My excitement for the ride is like neck and neck with Indiana Jones. It's just this news didn't like excite me as much as like, oh my god, Harrison Ford's letting his face being used. Like that meant more to me than getting the name for this.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Encanto.
Same.
I think this is another like people mover kind of ride. I think I'm giving this another 3. I do think where I will move up is for the land itself. The Colombian food better kick ass.
I hope so, man.
Because food is again one of my faves. So
yeah,
food better be amazing. That's all I can hope for. That's what you guys need to bring me. I want all that amazing food that Mirabelle's mom was cooking. She better have a restaurant or a shop in this land.
Yeah, at least a kiosk with like
at least a kiosk. Give me something where I can get some patties, all of that. I want all of it.
Sure.
Tacos, etc. Give me all the Colombian food. The ride itself, I think this will be fun. I think the girls will absolutely love it. The carousel, which I know we'll talk some.
I'll bring that up. The carousel, they just released what the figures look like. It looks beautiful. It's a carousel. The Timon one. Have you seen the Timon one? You sit on like his weird tail butt area. It's kind of weird. All the other ones look very cool. They're like wood carvings of Disney characters that are beautiful. The Timon one is the only weird one. Everything else looks fine.
I think the only reason they picked Timon is because they already picked Pumbaa, and they were like, well, Timon goes with Pumbaa, so we got to make one of each. But it's like Timon.
Yeah.
Timon ain't got a backside like that, so it doesn't really work.
It's probably not even news on this article that I saw, just because like we've known about this. We knew it was going to be wood carvings of Disney characters. They just released what they look like. They look fine. I'm not even going to put a number on the news there. Let's jump to the last one for the East Coast for Disney World. So we got Hollywood Studios. We got Monstropolis news. So most of the land is opening up in 2027. That includes a new theater show at the Globe Theater, which is where RIP Muppet Visions is. Harryhausen's restaurant, which is where Old Mama Melrose, and Archie's Scare Pig Pizza, which is RIP Pizza Rizzo, will also be opening up at that point. We got news that Disney legend Randy Newman will be creating an original song for the land. While most of Monstropolis is opening up in 2027, the big news with this is that the Door Coaster will not be opening up with it. So it's going to be a phased opening for this land, much like I think both East and West Coast Galaxy's Edge had like split openings. Maybe not Disney World, but Disneyland, I'm 95% positive right now. When Galaxy's Edge opened, it was just Smuggler's Run, and that Rise of the Resistance opened up at a later date. Whereas Disney World might have had both of them open up at the same time, but at a later date as well. I can't really remember. But again, phased opening from Monstropolis. So that's the news. I think the big thing is I really didn't think this was going to come about in 2027, but it is. Again, not the Doors roller coaster. I'm hoping by late 28, early 29, we have the Doors coaster by then. But yeah, so my ranking for this, I'm gonna give it a 4, and only even though it was just really announced that the only thing that's opening is the show and the restaurant and the counter service spot. I was just shocked that any part was opening in 27. I really thought it was gonna be all or nothing in 28. So it is nice that we'll have a good stretch of Monstropolis to explore at some point in 2027 for guests that are going there.
I think I'm going to give this a 2. And it's mainly because I hate this half-ass opening plan that the big ticket ride is not open. Therefore, you do not need to start interviewing wait staff and chefs and cast members to work the eateries. Bring me the ride. That is what's going to be the big draw to this area. As of right now, it's when you guys do open, it's just a couple of restaurants. It's just going to be oh, nice. Look at that. Take a couple of pictures. All right, we're good. Let's continue walking to Galaxy's Edge. Like, without the ride, I don't really care about Monstropolis. Like, I need the whole shebang. Give me the whole cake or nothing at all. Sure. I don't want frosting. I don't want a slice. Give me the whole cake. So this gets a 2 out of me just because that ride is that's the draw. That's the biggest thing that everyone's been excited about. I don't need new paint jobs and, some cool things here and there. I'm guessing most likely there's going to be a nice little meet and greet for Mike and Sully, possibly even another character.
The show looks cute, though.
Yeah, but again, we've got Mike's laugh floor. So
I think that's going to eventually, though.
Probably. We have a show. We've got all of that. I want the ride. That's what's needed.
But isn't it like, if part of it's ready to go, wouldn't you rather have that than nothing? Like, if the restaurants are ready to go, like, just do it. Like, they showed the animatronic of the squid octopus thing in Harryhausen's. It looks incredible. Yep. Like, why keep it closed, I guess? You know what I mean? Like, I get wanting the Doors coaster. It's a lot easier to open up these repurposed restaurants in a 3D show than building a brand new roller coaster from scratch. You know what I mean? So I'd rather have nothing than not. So, like, I'm not mad that, like, they're doing a phased opening, because why keep the construction walls up if it's done and ready? Let people in, let people explore, open up areas. That way, like, disperses crowd levels. I think that makes it makes it work. But I get you. Like, I want the Doors coaster too, as much as anybody else. But I'll take something over nothing.
I think what I'm looking at is if the roles were reversed, we're not getting that same courtesy. If the ride was like, if they started the ride first before anything else, like just putting the bones together and all of that, and they were like, yeah, the ride is probably going to be done and we'll start prelim testing in May of 27. You're not letting everybody on until the restaurants and everything else is done as well.
Maybe.
So,
but here's the thing, that's never going to happen, right? Because the rides are always going to take longer than a restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, nothing like that will ever be like that. We won't. I don't think we'll ever have a situation to compare this to where the roles are reversed, because they just, physically speaking, it's just always going to be easier to build these other things / retrofit them than building a brand new state of the art. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think we'll ever have a situation where the roles will ever be reversed. So I'll take it rather than nothing. But I totally get your sentiment.
Yeah.
Disneyland, we're going to pass through these first. We're not even going to give rankings for them. Remember Dreams Come True, Beloved Fireworks Spectacular returns to Disneyland in February 2027. I'm just using this copy's words. I don't know if it's Beloved. I've never watched these because I'm an East Coast guy, but I'm really happy for the Disneyland people. World of Color, an updated version of the original World of Color returns to California Adventure in February 27th. I'm going to pause on this one real quick. Jealous of this one because I saw whatever version of World of Color I saw. I forget what I saw. It was cool. I liked it. But the whole time I was sitting there, I was like, I've seen the original World of Color and the second iteration on YouTube, and those were way better shows that I wish I got to experience. So it's cool that they're doing an updated version of the original World of Color. I wish I would get to see that.
Yeah.
Last one we're going to kind of breeze over is the Magic Happens Parade returns to Disneyland summer 27. People are excited about that one. Again, never seen the parade. Sorry, I know this is kind of stupid. I'm passing through these, but like, I have nothing else to add besides Woo! Cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Jump into the big news. We got 3 of them, and then we'll try to do these fast. Avengers Campus, the big news here. We already knew Avengers Affinity Defense and Stark Flight Lab were coming. However, we didn't have a date. We now know that those are coming at some point in 2028. This expansion will double the size of Avenger Campus, and we found out that Robert Downey Jr., Anthony Mackie, and Brie Larson, among other Marvel stars, will be reprising their roles as their characters. So it'll be interesting because they don't care about timelines, because Robert Downey Jr. is reprising his role as Iron Man. Anthony Mackie is reprising his role as Captain America. Those two in our Marvel universe were never around because RIP. Well, they were around, but Anthony Mackie was Falcon, not Captain America.
Yeah.
But he became Captain America after Iron Man snapped. Yeah, so I'm going to give this a 5 because we have a date. I don't know when the next time I'm going to Disneyland was, but I have said multiple times I'm only going. Next time I go is for the 75th or when Avengers Campus opens. So hopefully I'm at Disneyland a lot sooner than I thought it was going to be, because I was thinking this was going to take probably closer to 2029 to open. But yeah, we're getting these 2 rides in 2028.
Yeah, I'll give this one a 4 as well. Or I'll give this one a 4 just because anything Avengers, I'm all for it. I can't wait to go to Disneyland and see Avengers Campus and see everything that they have there. Like, it's awesome. Super excites me. So yeah, I'm definitely putting that one up high.
Coco attraction. Disney confirmed first ever Coco ride, which I think they've already they don't know why it's not officially confirmed. They've talked about this before. They gave a little background. Guests will travel by boat through Miguel's memories of the land of the dead. The story takes place after the original movie and connects to Coco 2, which was, I don't know if Coco 2 was announced, but at least they gave a concept art.
It was announced.
Was it?
They don't have a date.
I think we've known about Coco 2 for a little bit now, but they had an official concept art where they aged him up. Regardless, awesome, great. But we knew there was a Coco ride coming, so I'll give this a 4.
Yeah, he looks like a 15-year-old Antonio Banderas. It's actually pretty funny. Or somebody else put it, as racist as it sounds, he looks like Speedy Gonzalez in human form.
See, I would cut that one, buddy. Let's cut that one. Put that as a mark. Mark that time.
That was hilarious. Like, I saw that online and I thought that was hilarious.
Keith Bandera cut that one. Jesus. All right. Your excitement for the Coco attraction. I'm more jealous of it. I want Coco here at Disney World. So
yeah, I'll give this a 3. Again, this is another one of those things of I've never been to Disneyland, so I know when I finally do get there, most likely all of this is going to be set in stone and running and has been running for a little while now, and it's going to completely blow my mind. But as somebody who is kind of chained to the East Coast at the moment, and for the foreseeable future, it's a 3. Sounds cool. Eventually I will take that flight over there and try it out, but yeah.
Last one, this was a 5 for me, on par with the Figment announcement. Again, this is where you have to announce this I'm actually gonna put it as a 4.5, because the big 5 will be, like, giving it a 5 will be when they actually announce what the hell they're doing. But this one was the biggest Disneyland piece of news, is that they are redoing a major renovation of Disneyland's Tomorrowland. It is the only part of Disneyland that I thought was really, truly not great besides Space Mountain. I thought Space Mountain was great. The Autopia stunk. The Nemo ride stunk. The Buzz Lightyear ride was awful. This land in Disneyland needs a major facelift. I've heard that from tons of Disneyland people, is how much they hate Tomorrowland. Experiencing it for myself last July, I agree. It's awful. It's a terrible land. So they're redoing it, which is, again, listening to the fans. People have been begging Disney for forever for this. So I'm going to put it at a 4.5 because it's awesome. They officially announced they're going to do it. It's not going to get that 5 for me, because even though, like, Figment, they didn't announce what they're doing, but we know what they're doing, right? It's Figment and it's Dreamfinder coming in. This could mean we're tearing down every single ride starting again. This could mean we're just paint jobbing things. This could mean we're just updating 2 attractions. I don't know. There's too much ambiguity. I don't think you're going to redo Tomorrowland at Disneyland without some major plans, but we don't know what the hell that even comes close to. You know what I mean? So that's why it's a 4.
Yeah. I think I'll give this a 3.
You'll never have to experience crappy Tomorrowland. That's the goal, is hopefully Steve never have to experience that this is just perfect when you go.
I'll give it a 3.5, and I think most of my excitement is the hope that eventually they're going to redo Tomorrowland at Disney World.
Yeah.
my hope is by the next big D23, something along those lines gets mentioned, because then by that time we've got some solidified opening dates for Villains Land, Piston Peak, all of that. So it's like, okay, look at these brand new areas that we have. Don't pay attention to the right side of your screen.
Yeah,
we can just gut and redo and put up to building code everything that we need to do to put some new things there.
The next D23 is absolutely going to be like the next big one. So in 2 years, it's going to be what the hell is actually happening in Tomorrowland. That for sure. We'll know what the heck's happening for Figment, because by that point, I'm assuming, well, Animal Kingdom will be done. We'll have news. We'll have everything. We'll probably have some more Villains news, but those will be updates. But yeah, it's some good stuff. I'm excited for Tomorrowland. I'm excited for the Disneyland people. But there we go. There you have it. The Continental theme park news from the Horizons panel. Again, tons more news. You can watch it on Disney Plus if you want to see it. But there's a lot of news with. I know the Disneyland Paris fans are excited about their Simba ride and about their redo of their version of Space Mountain that's supposed to be incredible. But yeah, there we go, Stevie. That's the final episode of season 2 of Dadventures Around the Kingdom, until me and my wife are in a good spot with a second baby on a routine. So I truly don't know when we'll be back. It could be a month, could be 2 months, could be 2027. I have no idea. But hopefully it's sooner rather than later. We're behind these mics talking. And again, Stevie, we're gonna be talking 24/7 anyway.
Oh yeah, we'll constantly be talking, and I know our listeners will be waiting. It sucks when we have to do these, hiatuses, whether it's for vacation or anything like that. But at the same time, it's also great for me because it allows me to get some stuff done on the back end. I know our Google Drive is collecting dust. I have not had a chance to dive into that stuff. So I'll get to work on that. This space that I am podcasting in will probably be moved around again by the next time, because I'll have some time to do all that again. But it just means everything will be better when we get back. We're not just sitting twiddling our thumbs. You will be running around with your lovely wife, your
a couple day old, however it is. And that's the thing, right? It's like the whole point of this podcast is Dadventures Around the Kingdom. Like, we're two dads trying to figure it out, kind of thing. So it's the fact that we're doing a little parental leave hiatus is very fitting, I think, for the podcast.
Yeah, Cam's side of the kingdom is about to go to war, because that newborn war is no joke.
Literally, like, my thought process right now. So we're recording right now. It's 9:48. The second we end this podcast, I'm going to bed, because, like, God forbid she goes into labor, I want to have some semblance of sleep, kind of thing. And I think about that the other day. I was up till midnight. I was like, "What are you doing, you idiot? Like, go to sleep. God forbid she wakes up with her water breaking in 2 hours from now, and then you're not gonna sleep for another 3 months." So it's like, go to bed. Yep. So that's my little mantra every now. Is like, get to sleep,
on call.
Bed, like, we're ready to go, kind of thing. Everything's packed, but I was like, get some sleep so we're at some semblance of normalcy.
You are on call at any moment. Yep. Yeah, everybody, thank you all for listening. Again, we will keep you all posted on our socials when we will be back. Blessings and everything, Cam, to you, your wife, the family, everybody in that household. Hopefully everything goes smooth and you bring another lovely princess into the world.
So I'll have you guys over to meet her very soon.
Yes. And to everyone listening, until we are back, have an amazing Friday, a lovely weekend, and as always, keep it magical.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Dadventures Around the Kingdom. You can listen to the pod on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. You can also find us on our Instagram at Dadventures Around the Kingdom. If you have any ideas for future episode topics you'd like to hear, be sure to DM us on Instagram or email us at datkpod@gmail.com. Again, that's datkpod@gmail.com. If you want to follow our host Stevie on Instagram, you can do that at StevieJenko. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, you can also do that by following at Magical Vacays by Cam. That's my travel agency page if you're interested in booking Walt Disney World or Disneyland vacation at no additional cost to you. Feel free to DM me on there so we can definitely talk and I can get you a free, no obligation quote. Again, thanks for listening to Dadventures Around the Kingdom. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.